Inquiries received by 30th August 2025, regardless of symptoms, will be sent replacement parts. Fantastic! Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven with your weekly figure news fix. This time around 7th to 12th of July 2025. The good news for me personally is that this week there are way lesser new figures on pre-order. So I get to catch up on the figures I missed out last week because they went on pre-order late on Saturday. After I have done filming the video, I needed time to edit it, right? At least another 10 figures that I missed out last week because there were way too many. And then for this week, we have a very eventful week highlighted by the quality control Defect with some Good Smile Company and Alter figures, which I shared in a separate video back on Wednesday. And by today, at the time of recording this video, Good Smile has publicly acknowledged that there is indeed a quality control debacle and they are offering solutions for those of you affected. You might be in luck because you could receive an entire new figure for free. Yes, so before I proceed with this week's new figure pre-orders, yes, we go through this new notice and apology regarding paintwork defect in selected products by Good Smile published on the 11th of July 2025 on Friday. Okay, skipping to the second paragraph, this is to inform you that certain products sold by our company from late September 2024, so it goes way back. I wasn't aware of this. Late September 2024 onward have been found to have defects in the paintwork which developed over time. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this has caused to customers who have purchased the affected products, and the list of affected figures is Good Smile Company's Sakura Miku Hanami Outfit version 24 April 2025 release, Good Smile Company Miyako Swimsuit from Blue Archive 16 May 2025 release, Max Factory Hatsune Miku Blue Archive version, the vibrator holder version, released on 20th September 2024. Okay, I wasn't aware of that because I did not check. That's way back. And Good Smile Arts Shanghai Shinano. This one, I wasn't aware, right? Released on 10th of March 2025, and that is one bloody expensive figure. It would be really sad, and they have examples over here. The exact cause of the defect is currently under investigation. The findings identified so far are as follows. It has been discovered that a discoloration attributed to the UV coating agent used in the finishing process of the paintwork occurs in affected products. It has not been confirmed that this defect occurs uniformly in all units of the affected products. Factors such as storage conditions and individual product differences may contribute to the manifestation of the issue. In some cases, the defect may not occur at all. It has also been confirmed that depending on the degree of the defect, some of the staining can be removed by wiping the affected area with water. Affected areas are mostly bare skin excluding the head parts. Details of defect, it develops over time. Discoloration not visible at the time of inspection may occur. So this is consistent with my speculation and my guess from my video a few days ago. I said that it was the clear protective coating that is the problem. Yes, confirmed over here. And then it may affect only certain batches. As you can see over here, not everyone will face this problem. This is a bit of a gacha over here. So they have some examples over here. So this figure right here, Shinano, the entire arm is, wow, that is really bad, right? And paint is even coming off in this case. No, that's not paint, more like, decals, I think. The clear coating is affected. And then more examples over here. Yep, the wrist of this Blue Archive figure, the arm as well. So support provided for parts of the affected products that have developed signs of this issue. We will offer either an exchange for newly manufactured replacement parts or a return or refund. Please note that the specific support options and applicable period may vary depending on the condition of the product. We apologize for the inconvenience and blah blah blah. Okay, this is very long. You should read this article, you should read this news over here, which I am attaching in a pinned comment below. Very important. So support period is 11th of July to end of July. Inquiries received after August 2026 and later will be handled with replacement parts depending on whether the stocks are available. So hopefully, if the mold develops on a new figure, it does not develop 3 or 5 months later, then it would be troublesome in case they don't have any extra leftover parts or excess inventory to send it to you. Customers with products that do not currently display symptoms, right? Inquiries received by 30th August 2025, regardless of symptoms, will be sent replacement parts. If your product does not exhibit symptoms currently, but you would like to request for replacement parts just in case, please contact us in the inquiry form by the application deadline listed below. Fantastic! So at least for Good Smile figure, in case of any of the 4 figures listed by Good Smile, your figure appears fine, there are no problems yet. Ask for a free figure before 30th of August 2025. That is fantastic. Yes, it is going to cost Good Smile a lot, no doubt, but hey, this is excellent customer support, which you don't see many figure companies provide. Like Alter is still completely silent at the moment, and historically, Alter has never really provided much support to us foreigners. They only provide support and replacement parts for those living in domestic Japan. Yes, so I don't know what Alter will do. I hope they do something about it, because this is a really bad case of quality control defect. If the product was not defective today, 11th July, and a request was made on 15th September 2025, despite no defects present at the time of request, no replacement parts. So there are a few terms and conditions. Anyways, if you have one of the 4 figures over here listed by Good Smile, contact them immediately before August if you can. So this is the best part over here, newly manufactured replacement parts. This is the example I'm giving, what you will be getting. They will be packaged in a dedicated blister packaging within a white box, plain white box. But for this Sakura Miku, you're getting pretty much the entire figure except the twin tails. And then for this Miyako figure, pretty much the entire figure. Not with, without the base, of course. They won't give you a free base for nothing. And then Max Factory has Miku Blue Archive version. You get everything except the head, because the head of the figure was removable, which is still a pretty good result. I mean, a pretty good replacement in a way. And then for Shinano, going by the pictures they are providing over here, it seems like you're almost getting an entire new figure. And this is not a cheap figure. I can't remember what is the asking price. This is at least 30 or 35,000 yen. Yeah. So yeah, there is a link over here applying for replacement parts, return or refund. Now there is some bad news over here. I forgot where is it in the article. This is a long announcement over here. If you bought your figure from Good Smile directly, Good Smile online, then you can contact them. If you purchased it from HLJ or AmiAmi or any of the Japanese sites, you need to contact the website you bought the figure from. This is where the bad news is, because if you are like me, you buy a lot of your anime figures from Chinese website like Taobao, then the communication and replacement process is very difficult, to say the least, if not impossible. Yes, especially if there are no replacements available and you want to request for a refund. I'm not sure how a Chinese seller is going to work things out with Good Smile company and issue you a refund, because over in China they use Alipay or they use WeChat Pay, which may not be supported in your country depending on where you live in. So for those of you who look at China's Taobao and see the prices are so cheap, you want to buy it there, like me, I'm a cheapskate. There are certain risks involved, right? And sometimes getting from Japanese websites like AmiAmi or HLJ or Hobby Search or anywhere you prefer may be a better option if you want to play it safe. So I did not read the entire article because it is so long. Please check it out if you own any of the 4 figures over here. And Alter, please say something. Yeah. Alright, we shall now move on to the actual new figures on pre-order this past week. Firstly, the genuine licensed anime figures on Hobby Link Japan. I have selected the scale figures I want to cover as usual, starting off with the largest scale over here. Ultimate Premium Masterline Girls Frontline LTLX 7000 from Girls Frontline. By Pram1 Studio, 1x4 scale, almost 160k. January release. Year 2027, by the way, not next January. You have plenty of time to save up. And this is so random. No, sometimes I'm not sure how Pram1 Studio decides what figure to make. They jump from one anime to another, one game to another. It is not like Alter, A Good Smile, or many of the mainstream figure companies where if they commit to one game title, they try to make as many characters as possible. Pram1 Studio is like they're jumping all over the place, so I'm not sure what their strategies are. To be honest, Girls Frontline is a game that I wouldn't touch. I mean, the figures I wouldn't touch unless I can get it at a really low price. So you have to be a really big fan of this character or the game to buy something like this. Because everywhere, no matter where I look, a lot of Girls Frontline figures are bargain binning hard. Like, people don't care about the game anymore or the characters. Other than the hardcore fans, obviously. Like, yeah, their figures are not doing well at all. In the aftermarket, after release, they get big discounts. I'm seeing this a lot with Fats Company and even some Good Smile skills as well. I think Fats Company mostly getting heavy discounts. The ones by Q-Skill are still holding on their value because Q-Skill's figures are way better in quality control. So that might be why, right? Girls Frontline figures by Q-Skill are still maintaining their high value. So this is for those of you who love this character or the game, for sure. It is not for everyone. Moving up next, we have a 1x4 scale Japanese doll. Yup, the one with the real kimono fabric that is super expensive by Furyu. 1x4 scale Azur Lane Mikasa Blue Flower Komachi version. 180,000 yen, June release. Yup, June next year. So no matter what you say about this kimono real cloth figures by Furyu, yeah, I get it, right? They are handmade, they are real craftsmanship. They are not cheap, but are they this expensive? I don't think so, man. I mean, this is more expensive than the real clothes we humans wear, when you think about it. So the profit margins on these are insane, right? And no matter how you justify buying it, I mean, if you like it, if you really like the figure, if you really like this series of figurines, you enjoy the cloth over there, then you can justify the purchase, no problem, as long as you like it. But for someone like me who tend to seek for the best value, I cannot justify it no matter what. Unless it is a bargain bin, then I might be curious enough to pick one up, provided it is a character I like. So far, there are none yet. So there we go. And even with these super premium Japanese kimono cloth figures by Furyu, they are also not immune to bargain bins. I have seen big discounts in AmiAmi sale section involving these figures. So they are not as exclusive as you think they are. Moving up next, we have two budget 1x4 scale figures. The first one is by Abilu Design. So in case you are unaware of, Abilu is a very new brand, but they already have one figure out, only one. The squatting nurse, right? And that nurse figure is customable, but only available for international customers. In China, you don't get to buy the custom parts. Obviously, there are some sellers who may still offer it, but in general, there are two versions of that figure. And it was really cheap as well. I'm not sure if that figure is already out over in Japan and for the rest of you, but in China, that figure is already out. 1x4 scale, MILF, nurse character with big oppai, right? And Abilu Design, as a Chinese brand, is actually like a branch of ACY Studio, which is responsible for third-party resin figures, right? So it is not like they are completely clueless or they don't have experience at all in making figures. If anything, I think they can get these figures done really well, given their expertise in the resin side of things. And those were also 1x4 scale. So back to this figure over here, 1x4 scale Molly's changing time witch version, 14,500 yen. This is all you get and coming out in June 2026. My opinion on this figure, in case you really like it, is to wait for 1 more week. Just in case, Below Design reveals a second version where you get to cast off the figure. Of course, there will be additional parts for you to swap out. For example, you know, can remove the head, and then who knows, maybe the torso, this area can unplug it, something like that. There is a possibility. So I would suggest waiting for 1 more week before pulling the trigger on pre-ordering this way too early. So far, there are no signs of this figure being offered in the customable variant, but wait for it, right? Wait 1 more week. Okay, moving on to the next one, 1x4 scale. This one I really like, because it reminds me of that princess that I can't remember her name. The one in Widow Healer. It is so uncanny, isn't it? This really reminds me of Widow Healer, and that is a good thing. So coming from Model Way, which is a Chinese brand, and they have 1 single figure out, 1x6 scale. Also like leg spreading, missionary position, but sitting on the floor. I don't remember the character's name, original character. So maybe check for user pictures of that figure, then you are able to figure out what their quality is like. I don't think it is bad looking at all. And I wanted to review that figure, but you know what? The post is a bit questionable, so I don't know yet. Meanwhile, this one over here is a 1x4 scale Momoka Sakuraba Aigan Tenshi Cherry Pink version. Cherry Pink version, they are implying there will be a second color version coming. Yeah, but the pink over here is really nice, and once again, it reminds me of the Widow Healer character, so I would take this one without waiting for the second version. Price is only 12,600 yen, releasing next April. This is a good buy. Yeah, it is unfortunate that this is not customable, and I don't see Model Way doing a customable version, judging by the first figure they made and released currently. That figure was suggestive but also not customable. So the conclusion I'm able to draw from this, or rather the hypothesis, the guess I have over here, is that Model Way is going for anime figures that are kind of suggestive in pose, like this one, she's pole dancing, but they are not going to the extent of offering a very lewd figure where you can cast off. This is all you get, and I don't think there will be a second version of this figure, unlike the one earlier by Below Design. Yeah, you need to look at the history of the company. Should you get it? As long you're okay with displaying something like this, yeah, go ahead. This is nice. Moving up next, we have 1x5 scale Mary illustration by Marota by Nocturne. A really good ecchi figure brand, like really good. 22,000 yen only, and you get a Hadaka lolly. What is there not to like? And you get 2 faces, obviously, right? One with the mask and one without. I would keep the mask on, just because it is kind of unique. Yeah, couldn't show the front of the figure because she only has the jacket on and nothing else. Yeah, 2 tapes on the chest, but yeah, showing too much skin for YouTube. This is a good price because Nocturne's figures are normally very expensive. They go over 30,000 yen easily. Yeah. Alright, moving up next, we have 1x6 scale Hikari figure by VK Ant. I covered this figure like a week or 2 ago when she pre-order opened early on OSGK. I said that this could be a PVC figure and Japanese websites could start offering it in the coming weeks. So there you go, just under 20,000 yen for end June release, I mean. Okay, so there really isn't much to discuss anymore. I want to speed things up a bit. This is a very nice figure. You should check out the pictures. Take a closer look at her face. I like the face a lot. Yeah, so this is a very promising figure. You're getting a lot of stuff, right? The wings, all those parts, they cost money to manufacture, but she is only under 20,000 yen. The next one here, okay, this figure was on top on HLJ, but not on AmiAmi. So I think I have covered this figure before. I won't go into details again. This mid-Mason figure by DMM Factory, 30,000 yen. In fact, I'm quite certain I covered this figure before. Yeah, and they bumped the figure up their front page, which is unusual. HLJ rarely does that. 30k is very expensive in my opinion. Very, very expensive for a simple made figure. Yeah. Okay, moving up next. This is a figure that went on pre-order late on Friday, not Saturday. So Technically, she was already available on HLJ when I was filming the video, but I did not realize that they added a new entry. So this is by Luminous Box 1/6 scale Miyabit original illustration Mia, just over 13,000 yen, January 2026 release. Alright, you know what? I like this figure a lot. Like, I saw this way back in One Fest, right? Back in February, and I already liked her for the character design and everything. And now, I look at the painted final sample. This is a great figure, like a very nice package. We have some props, water bottle and so on the ground. All of this for 13k, this is excellent value. And the character design is actually very attractive. Oh. Body shape, the body sculpt is like, oh, fabulous. There's nothing I can complain about this figure. This is a really good figure. So as long as you really like the character design, by all means go for it. This is very affordable. Moving up next, for the new figures on pre-order this week, 1/6 scales, we have 1/6 Sadie Deluxe Edition, January release next year, for almost 32,000 yen by Mimosa. And there is a standard version going for 21,600 yen, January release as well. Okay, this figure is a bit unique in the sense that regardless of whether you buy standard or deluxe, you are getting a free Oppai mousepad in the box. Well, you already paid for it. The mousepad is anywhere between 3 to 5,000 yen. So this is like 18,000 yen figure maximum. So the difference between standard and deluxe, back to the deluxe over here, is that for DX version, you're getting 2 entire figures as shown in this picture over here, plus that 1 extra faceplate. So normally I recommend people to get the deluxe version so that you don't miss out on any extra stuff in the box. But this time around, I'm not so sure because they give you 1 extra faceplate, but at the same time, they give you 2 entire figures. Like these 2 characters, they are the same character. It is not like a pair of twin sisters with a slightly different pose that mirror each other. No, it is not a twin. It is the same character but 2 different colors, and then you pay an additional 11,000 yen or so. So I'm not sure if this is actually worth it because why would I buy the same figure twice unless I really like it? Even if the colors are only slightly different, right? It is like they're trying to upsell you. Instead of buying just 1, they encourage you to buy double just by throwing in a small incentive, which is a small face, right? Just like you go to McDonald's, standard fries, large fries, maybe the difference is only $1, so you go all out and buy the large one, but does not really cost them anything. That's the thing. So it feels like the same strategy is being applied over here, and I'm not sure that buying 2 of the same figures is worth it unless you really like the character. Then by all means go ahead. So yeah, in this kind of situations, will you buy standard or deluxe? I would love your opinion on this. Moving up to the next one, we have VK and 1/6 scale Hanikami Kanojo Arena Shodo, 18,000 yen, May release. Alright, this is a very nice bunny girl that I really like. Like, you know, bunny girls are so common, they're everywhere nowadays, but this one is a bit different from usual, holding that cafe sign over there. The only unfortunate part is 1/6 scale. She won't blend in nicely with my other 1/7 scale bunny girls because 1/7 is a more common scale among anime figures. But still, if you like her, by all means go for it. This is a really good price. Okay, moving up next, we have 1/6 scale Uma Musume. Is this like literally the first ever 1/6 scale Uma Musume figure? Every single one I have seen are all 1/7. Coming from Union Creative, this is Agnes Digital, Agnes Jiangshi, 25,000 yen, April release. Price-wise, no complaints. That is a good price for 1/6 scale. That is fairly detailed, but Union Creative, as you guys know, their quality is hit or miss, and sometimes their figures bin. But you know what? Uma Musume, I'm not counting on her binning too early. Yeah, so pre-order it if you want it. And what is up with the rising popularity of Jiangshi? I've seen a few original art with this style. Last week we had a Miku in this style by Design Coco, and then Shoten Doji, Caster. QSQ has one in this style as well, and there were many others, and this is like a trend that is becoming popular lately. Yeah. My only problem with this figure is that, you know, she won't blend in nicely with other existing Uma Musume figures by other brand because of the scale difference, but maybe some of you don't care about that. Moving up next, we have Brown Empire Yoru-chan illustration by Yuge Yukimiya by 18. Edgy figure brand, yes, this is customable. You can go fully Hadaka with this one, which is why a simple looking lolly figure is costing that much, 27,000 yen. More than likely, you are getting almost an entire second figure just to display her Hadaka without any clothes on. January release next year, and 18, well, this brand, I wish that I can review the figures on YouTube, but it is not possible. Yeah. And they have like 1 or 2 figures that been in China, at least in Taobao. But edgy figures, right? I wouldn't encourage anyone to rely or to wish for price binning because they are less likely to happen. Yeah, those are less likely to happen to the figure unless there is a major quality control issue. Yeah. Edgy figures in general, regardless of who the artist is, who the manufacturer is, pre-order it early if you want it. Okay, moving up next. Okay, the next few 1x7 scale figures are from last Saturday, but HobbyLink Japan listed them on Monday, already available in AmiAmi since Saturday, so I'm only covering them now. This one is so popular, I'm sure a lot of you have already pre-ordered her by now. 1x7 scale Azur Lane Taiho and Raptured Companion version, 20,000 yen only. That is a great price. August release next year. So this is basically the same exact Taiho that Mimeyoi made in 1x4 scale, which I also reviewed quite recently. I was very late in reviewing that figure. Now you get this same figure, this same character in 1x7 scale. And today, if you were to ask me, should I get 1.7 or 1x4? I will ask you back. How much space do you have and how much money do you have? Simple as that. So to me, right, even though it is the same exact character, the same exact version, including the outfit design, in the end, it really depends on what kind of collector you are. And yeah, don't buy what you can't afford, obviously. But more importantly, don't neglect your display space, because I have seen so many people spending 95% of their budget on anime figures and the other 5% goes to really flimsy, low quality display cabinets, display cases, and then eventually one day disaster happens, the whole thing collapses or something like that. It has happened to some resin figure collectors, which is even the more tragic because those things would break into 69 different parts. So look at your shelf, the space you have before deciding. But if we put aside the size or price considerations, you are looking at quality, then you know what? I would stick with Apex Toys, even though it is smaller. At least they are more consistent, because the one by Mimeyoi, I made it clear that I did not like her buck teeth, right? The mouth region wasn't really nice. But if you can get the 1x4 at a bargain bin price, which is a thing in China's Taobao, you can get the 1x4 by Mimeyoi for 1,000 Chinese yuan or around 140, 150 US dollars. By all means, buy one because she is big and beautiful. But if you can only choose either one, then I would say stick to the one by Apex Toys. Yeah. Okay, moving up next, we have this Arknights Skadi, the Crafting Hut, the Pilgrim version by Apex Toys as well. This is pricey, 26,000 yen, September release, September next year, obviously. And this figure, I like it so much because you know what? Details. Look at the detail on her outfit. It is fantastic, man. I love it. The only thing I don't like about this character is that she is very pale, right? Her skin is very pale, says the guy who likes Black Rock Shooter, but point taken. She's very pale to the extent she looks like a walking zombie, a walking corpse to me. Yeah, some of you don't mind that. I know it is just character design, right? We need variety in anime character designs, right? So not complaining about that, just that I'm not sure I'm having mixed feelings for this figure, but mostly positive ones. I still like her a lot. And the second problem is that, yeah, the pose is bland, the pose is boring, but for those of you who love very detailed figures, just like I do, this could be worth considering. Moving up next, Design Coco has a pair of Hololive figures, Inugami Korone 25k August release next year, and Okayo. Yep, these two are always coming in a pair. And my advice for this pair of figures is very simple. Two things. Number one, Design Coco, they make good figures. Like, I don't question their quality control much. They are decent, very decent in fact. Number two, it is Korone and Okayo. The pop-up parade during the first release back then, it was more than a year or maybe even 2 years ago at this point. They were 5,000 yen each, right? But within a month after release, they shot up to 10,000 yen double. And then I was asking this very simple question, which idiot would buy a pop-up parade with quality control issues at 10,000 yen? But the Japanese does not think the same way as I do. So, this pair of characters are stuff you do not want to overlook. If you are a fan of these two characters, pre-order it while you still can before you regret it. Yes. Moving up next, this Misaka Mikoto wedding swimsuit version is also from last week. And what? Wedding swimsuit version? This is only a thing in anime, I think. Who wears a swimsuit to a wedding? Anime fan service. Coming from A Dimension, only 15,400 yen. April release next year. And let me cheer again just like last week. Yay for season 4. Yes, a season 4 of Real Gun is coming. Misaka Mikoto, same comments as last week. I discussed about a different Misaka Mikoto figure. I think it was the third party, the one on the bike. I would still prefer the one by Kotobukiya. Yeah, if you can find one, I don't think it is too hard to find. The one in school uniform where she is standing on a heap of construction rubble. Yeah, that is really nice, that one. And she's cheap. Moving up next, one of the main highlights this week, Vertex Originals Orbit Girls Entry number 2, Akane Hinatsu, 48,000 yen. And even higher in AmiAmi. December release, and that is this December. Okay, very soon. So, as a mecha girl, as a science fiction lover, I am liking what I'm seeing, but I just had to question Vertex. Maybe it is not their fault. What is up with the pose with her arms? 2 of her hands are wide open like that. Like, you are increasing the amount of space the figure is taking up for no good reason, just because of the pose. Like, her arms swinging like that. If the pose was modified a little bit, like maybe like this, I don't know, then the figure would have a smaller footprint, taking up less space on the display shelf. But who knows, maybe they are just following an original illustration faithfully, so can't blame them on that. But yeah, the pose on this figure is taking up unnecessary amount of space. And that metal rod behind, necessary because of all of the heavy parts. No choice over here. Now, the things that this figure, there is a limited version on AmiAmi as usual. Vertex does this a lot. They have a deluxe version, which is slightly more expensive, but they are often always AmiAmi exclusive. So this AmiAmi exclusive version is another few thousand yen, almost 53,000 yen, where you get 2 extra things. Number one is that, if you noticed, the torso, the chest, the opai of this figure is exposed, like partially exposed, not fully exposed. And then you get a second faceplate where she appears to be blushing, embarrassed, right? So you get to swap out the upper chest part. The standard version is more like red color armor. And there we go. This one over here, her red color chest, her opai are covered. Which to me, if I have to be honest, this looks a lot more natural. Yeah, if you want everything, you want the full set, by all means, pre-order this, 53,000 yen. Unfortunately, some figure brands are breaking the 50,000 yen mark. Alter just did it a week or 2 ago with that new jersey which everyone were complaining about. And now we have Vertex breaching the 50,000 yen price points as well. Okay, Vertex as a brand, before I forget, their figures are amazing. I mean, you look at their Elf Village figures, they are incredible. So this is a brand that you shouldn't hesitate if you like what you're looking at and you can afford it. Moving up next, okay, the most popular figure of the week. You know, this figure was number 1 selling on AmiAmi, number 1 ranking since around Tuesday or so. Day 1 she went on pre-order, and by the time I am recording this video on a Friday, she is still ranking number 1. None of the figures that went on pre-order a few days later, the next day and so on, have dethroned this Ellen Jo yet. big gap over there between first place and the rest of the figure. So this Ellen Joe figure from Zenless Zone Zero 1x7 by Apex Toys, only 20,400 yen, is an absolute no-brainer. Pre-order it. Even if you don't play the game, pre-order it. You know what? Before this figure came out from Apex Toys, there has been a few excellent third parties of her already. Now there is a bit less reason to go for third parties unless you have very specific reasons. This is all you need, yeah. But speaking of third parties, I really like the Ellen Joe made by Ghost Train Studio. Yeah, specifically Ghost Train Studio. That figure is nearing release or already released, I think. Okay, so smash the pre-order button before you regret it. But if you say you want to wait, you don't want to pre-order early, not a bad idea, because a lot of Apex Toys figures, they are widely available after release. They rarely become very rare and expensive, right? If you couldn't find one on Japanese website after release, just head to Taobao. Apex has a flagship store in Taobao, and even by today, Ningguang from Genshin, Keqing from Genshin, which cost 35,000 yen and up in Japan today, you can find it in stock and at MSRP over in Taobao. So Apex Toys stuff, they have enough stock. You can wait. You want to wait? Go ahead. Yeah. Okay, moving up to the next one. Another Azur Lane figure, Jade by Elegant. 1x7 scale, 16,000 yen. July release. Okay. After seeing what happened to St. Louis by Alter, I think Elegant, their sales will suddenly go up. Because they have a really good St. Louis figure as well. I've seen some user pictures. Looks very promising. So their figures, it is just a matter of time before I review a figure made by this company. But I can confidently say go for it if you like her. This is a very simple figure, which is why she's so cheap. She has two faceplates, one with open eye, one with closed eye, like winking faceplate. I don't know why everything is loading so slow over here. I'm not sure if it is my connection or HLJ's problem, their server, I'm not sure. But this wouldn't be my top priority when it comes to Azur Lane figures. Looks a bit bland and boring, but not a bad buy at all at this price. Moving up next, okay, Prisma Wing has a new Marin Kitagawa figure, glass edition. 28,000 yen, January release next year. You know what? This Marin over here, her face actually looks pretty good. See, none of the pictures are loading, man. This is... Okay, finally. The face over here is really good. Like, as long as you like this figure, even though I had mixed opinions about Marin Kitagawa in the past, like... I don't really want to open old wounds by this company, but their Tokisaki Kurumi was a hell big of a disaster in a way. I made a video solely for that one figure to show you guys what was wrong with that figure, and that was 50,000 yen. But, you know, this kind of major problems, right? Like a really big mess up, a really big screw up. I don't expect a company to repeat the same mistake over and over. This is not Forge Japan. This is not Insight, right? Yeah, and if they really care about the reputation, they wouldn't repeat it. So with this Marin, this would not be my top choice when it comes to Marin Kitagawa scale figures, because we have really nice options from Alter. Alter's Marin Kitagawa is around this price point. I think was 27,000 yen, and I would buy the Alter one first any day of the week. But if you're looking to collect them all, then you might want to take a look at this one. I don't think she looks bad at all. Yeah. The only problem over here is that this figure reminds me of the prize figures. Was it by Taito? Or is it Furyu Tenitol? I think it was Furyu Tenitol, where they had a set of figures where they are sitting inside a glass. Or is it ice cream? Something like that. What was the name again? Yeah, the Queen's Essential Quintuplet Sisters, right? They have a series of figures where they're sitting in a glass, very similar to this one. So, those figures have ruined my perception of this Marin Kitagawa in the sense that when I saw this figure, it makes it feel like I'm looking at a low-budget, cheap figure. It definitely isn't. The surface coating, the paintwork is going to be so much better, but those figures have ruined my perception of this Marin figure, unfortunately. Okay, moving up next, we have a re-release of Momobilia de Veluke Pajama version from To Love Through Darkness by Alter. 16,000 yen, February release. You know what? I nearly bought this figure back then, but in the end, I did not. Like, I love to love Go. I love their character designs, the art. The artist that designed these characters, I love his works. The thing is that, you know, they are no longer a priority for me because nowadays Nikkei figures are awesome. So I don't see myself buying it again. Not seeing myself buying it today. And Momo getting a re-release is no surprise. Momo and Yami, these two are among the most popular characters in this manga and anime. 16k is cheap, right? If you like her, go for it. Moving up next, we have Kitaro's Father and Baby Kitaro from the Birth of Kitaro by Kotobukiya, 21,000 yen, January release next year. So this is like 1960s anime, right? I did not watch it, don't plan to. Like, I'm not a fan of it when I saw the character designs, to be honest. And this was from Kotobukiya's event back in February, finally available for pre-order. This is for those of you who feel some nostalgia. You watched this anime and you are probably 40 or 50 years old today. This is for those kind of people, not for me. Yeah. Moving up next, we have 1/8 scale Lime Pie series. So now we go into budget figure territory. But this figure of Cheshire from Azur Lane over here is from last Saturday as well. This is by Apex Toys, 6,000 yen only, May release. So with Apex Lime Pie series, that is the equivalent of Pop-Up Parade, right? They are low budget scale figure, except they are bigger at 1/8 scale. And Apex Toys being one of the more consistent brands out there today, feel free to pre-order it. And yes, I am preparing to review one of the Lime Pie figures in the coming month or two. I'm planning to go for it. I'm curious as well what the quality is like compared to a Pop-Up Parade, but I reckon that it would be superior. Yeah. Okay, moving up next, we have two Pop-Up Parade, three of them. Three Pop-Up Parade SP series, special series. This is Grace Howard from Zenless Zone Zero. Yeah, so no, the SP series, right, is a bit confusing. Generally, they mean higher quality, like the level of detail and intricacy is higher than an average Pop-Up Parade. They call it SP, but this Pop-Up Parade SP also covers both the normal ones and the L ones. And you won't know which is which until you look at the dimensions of the figure. So this is the normal Pop-Up Parade, the smaller one, but in SP variant, 8,000 yen, May release next year. This looks great, but the next one is even better looking. Wow, this this looks like a proper scale figure to me. The detail level over here. 8,000 yen, SP Koleda Belobok. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Releasing in May next year as well. And this is also one of the better looking Pop-Up Parades, like one of the best looking in fact. Just that I don't know if Good Smile managed to deliver as promised by this picture over here. I have trust issues with Pop-Up Parade, the standard Pop-Up Parade. L is like, yeah, a safer buy in a way. I really wish that the Good Smile made this in L, like Pop-Up Parade L but SP variant, 13,000 yen, take it. Take that money. They should have done this in L, though some will disagree with me. Yeah. Okay, moving up next, another Pop-Up Parade SP, Iron Mouse from V Shoujo, VTuber. And this one is 11,800 yen. Why? SP 12,000 yen, earlier SP 8,000 yen because this is bigger. Yeah, it is the same size as Pop-Up Parade L. Confusing, isn't it? Coming out in January. Come on, man. This kind of drill hair, it needs to be blonde hair, not pink color. Yeah, the American or British exchange student in an anime who is always a big show-off and loves ho-ho-ho. Blonde drill hair. Alright, it is a nice figure. I really like the paint on the hair, and there is proper shading, proper detailing on the hair, unlike normal Pop-Up Parades. Yeah. Okay, moving up next, we have this Miku over here, which sadly is being overshadowed by pretty much every other figures on pre-order this week. Like, this Miku figure feels really meh to me, to be honest. Like, not very attractive, not very striking, does not make me want it in a way. Pop-Up Parade Hatsune Miku Shuoshen Chinese New Year version coming out in December, and let's hope she comes out in December because, yeah, I don't want to be late for Chinese New Year. 6,000 yen almost. So prices are going up. Like, Pop-Up Parades used to cost as low as 4,300 yen, right? And then it slowly went up to 5,000 yen, now 5,900 yen. Prices are going up. Okay, up next we have, oh, here we go again, Square Enix and their Formism figures, which I can't really recommend. This is Kane from the Nier Automata series, I suppose. And yeah, even at 7,000 yen, my bias certainly isn't helping. You know, in your mind, you are already dead set that this brand, this product is trash. So, yes, I'm jumping to conclusions a bit over here. But at the same time, there are not many Kane figures out there. I wonder why. So if you want it, by all means go ahead. But Square Enix, be careful. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one. The last two are Mega House GEM series. This is from Witch Watch. Tenohira Niko-chan from Mega House. 8,000 yen, December release. You know, I stopped watching at around episode 3 or 4. It was a hilarious anime. I intend to continue watching it. And with this series of figures, they are tiny, they are very small. There we go, very small, right? And the last figure on HLJ for this week is Mega House GEM series Togen Anki from Tenohira Shiki. Tenohira is the name of the product line. 8,000 yen, December release, and once again, this is tiny figure. So that is all for the Hobby Link Japan section. We are not yet done for the genuine figures. We move on to AmiAmi for more figures. And if you are finding this video to be helpful, informative, or beneficial in any way, please to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel for more anime figure content every week. It is only one click away and it takes 1 second of your time. So the next figure over here on AmiAmi, the first few figures are exclusives, AmiAmi exclusives. This is from last Saturday. My dress-up darling Marin Kitagawa Shizuku Kuroe cosplay version non-scale figure. It has to be a small figure, right? 6,800 yen low budget figure, but very detailed looking for a low budget figure by Aniplex, releasing in June 2026. So the height of the figure is 14 cm. That is not bad. Kneeling position 14 cm. This is still roughly 1/8 scale, I think. Yeah, not a bad size at all. So Aniplex figures indirectly, they are AmiAmi exclusive because originally they are Aniplex Plus exclusive. And yeah, go for it. Like, this could be a better buy than even preorders even. I would tell you to buy a Mietos Gift Plus today. I will tell you to buy an Apex Toys Lampai. I will tell you to buy an Aniplex low budget figure. But preorders, not so simple. Okay, moving up next, another AmiAmi and Aniplex exclusive. We have Bocchi the Rock Ryo Yamada, the one who is always asking for money from her friends. 22,000 yen is a great price though. Releasing in March 2026, and you know what? Yeah, all of this, the base, the background prop, the stage, right? This entire figure for 22,000 yen. If anything, I'm quite surprised that Aniplex is rarely overcharging us, the collectors, for their figures because, right, these major production studios, Aniplex, Kadokawa, Pony Canyon and so on, when they do make figures, sometimes they overcharge just because they can. They hold the license, the rights to the characters and the series. They can do whatever they want. And for Kadokawa, it is more of a mixed bag. Some figures by them are affordable, some not so much. Pony Canyon is the most notorious when it comes to overpricing their figures, but Aniplex, so far their pricing has been great. Well, except for the FGO stuff. Yeah. Okay, go for it. Aniplex, their quality is excellent nowadays. Go for it. Collect the whole set. Moving up next, we have another AmiAmi exclusive, Game Characters Collection DX Devil Summoner Raido Kuzunoha vs King Abaddon. I have no idea what this is. Just over 19,000 yen, December 2025 release. I have no idea what this character is or where he is from. At first glance, right, the impression I get from the character design, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, maybe, but it is not. It is not. Copyright Sega, must be from one of Sega's game. Alright, no comment. Other than Mega House figures tend to be quite small, I bet this is 1/8 scale, even though it is non-scale on paper. So the height of the figure, 25 cm, including the cape, of course. Yeah, 1/8 scale. The cape is at least like 3 centimeters, and this being a male character, 1/8 scale. Moving up next, this figure went on pre-order last Saturday, but somehow not yet available on HLJ 1 week later, or maybe I missed out on it. And I did not notice this figure on OSGK as well. Maybe I missed out on it as well. It was there. Ghostblade series Yulia God of War 1/6 scale by Tekula, 13,200 yen. If it is on AmiAmi, it is licensed, right? And this is coming out in October 2025. Now, the thing with this figure over here is that the face is not as nice looking as other Ghostblade figures that I've seen. But I suppose that the best Ghostblade figures, they are all 1/4. Yeah, detail is just average, but the armor though is fantastic. And I don't get anime or game logic over here. It is like half of the body has armor, the other half does not have any. So if I were fighting her on the battlefield, I would just aim for the other side that does not have any protection. The design makes no sense, but it is aesthetic for sure. Okay, this company, Tekula, never heard of. I don't know anything. Must be Chinese brand. Okay, moving up next. Okay, this figure is interesting, and it is being labeled as Avex over here, but Avex is more like a studio, right? They produce music as well. This is actually a Kotobukiya figure, so I don't know why the name Avex is mentioned over here, but coming from Let This Grieving Soul Retire, the anime was fantastic. You should watch it if you haven't done so. Tino Shade 1/7 scale, 25,300 yen, September 2025. So I actually wanted this figure a lot, but it is really rare for me to spend 25,000 yen on a figure of an anime character nowadays. Even more so, seasonal anime. That is the kind of money I spend on, yeah, gacha game characters like FGO, Nikkei, Azur Lane, you get the point. Because those series, they are more long lasting, right? They are popular for the next 3-5 years minimum, if not longer than that. So, the value holds up a little bit more, so that is why a lot of us, we collect gacha characters nowadays. As for Tino Shade, I like her character a lot. Like, she has the best hips I've seen among many anime characters. Her legs are fantastic, but 25k is so expensive. It is unusual, man. For Kotobukiya scale figure to be this pricey, there has to be some licensing cost involved, given the Avex, the name of Avex is showing up over here. And this figure should have been on pre-order months ago. I'm not sure why suddenly it is on the front page of AmiAmi on a Friday today. I'm not sure at all what is going on. But I do like this figure a lot, to be honest. Moving up next, okay, this figure went on pre-order on OSGK a few days ago, now available on AmiAmi, not yet on HLJ. This is not an exclusive or anything. So coming from Mibojin no Yukiona, this is Mifuyu Yukino. There are some ecchi brands making figure of her that are customable. Just that I can't remember which brand. Yeah, and she was really popular. Yeah. This is by Chiyu. Just under 20,000 yen, November 2025 release. Very soon. Unfortunately, for this one over here, this version of the same character, this one is not customable. Yeah. So if you want cast off, look for the other brand. If you search in AmiAmi, search the name Yuki Ona or Mifuyu, you might come across that figure. Moving up next, we have this figure over here, V Singer Luo Tianyi and Mo Qingxian, Tea Time Melody version 1/7 by Animaster. 10,500 yen for a set of 2. That is insane. So this one is releasing in July 2026. You can get them separately for 6,600 yen each. Why would you do that when a set is cheaper? Just a bit over 5,000 yen each, right? Get the set. For me, I don't see myself getting this, even though I'm a big fan of Animaster's low budget figures. I don't see myself getting this one because the character design doesn't really speak to me that much. Can't relate. Don't like it that much. But otherwise, this is among the best value this week. And no, this is not an exclusive. If you want to get it on HLJ, maybe wait until next week. Yeah, the figures, Animaster figures, they show up later on HLJ. Okay, so moving up to the next one here, another Animaster figure, Dress Erin 1x6, 6,600 yen, releasing on April 2026. So this one is easy to see why she's so cheap, because they barely have to paint the figure. The actual figure is most likely almost, if not completely, Hadaka, and then they attached the silver dress on, a single one-piece dress. Yeah, there are no intricate details on the outfit, right? So it is simpler to manufacture, simpler to paint. So you see these low-budget scale figures, if you paid attention, their outfit, no matter what it is, be it a bunny or a dress like this, a party dress, they tend to be of simpler designs. Not that I'm complaining, because they make the hobby more affordable for collectors. Yeah, always a good thing. And the face on this is fantastic. Yeah, this is a great buy as long you like her. And this is like literally the same dress St. Louis from Azur Lane is wearing, except except for, I don't know, man. Same color as well, the same silver chrome color. Moving up next, we have this figure. I covered it last week on Figure News Quick, so I won't go into detail again. This Jade Dynasty Xiao Bai figure, Little White, by PJ Studio, is now available on AmiAmi for just under 25,000 yen. It is a PVC figure. Though, if I remembered correctly, I think OSGK is cheaper. You need to compare prices, right? Compare prices before ordering, which is no surprise, because Chinese brand figures are cheaper in China. If they're able to source it cheaper, then yeah, it was nowhere near $200 on OSGK, if I remembered correctly. It was like, was it 170 or how much? I can't remember, but anyways, whether I remember it or not is not the point. Compare prices before pre-ordering. Yeah. Moving up next, now we move into the major content section of AmiAmi. There are quite a few over here, 6 of them. The first one here, I covered it last week as well. I think last week or the week before even. On OSGK, went on pre-order earlier back then. By ODD Odd, we have a 1x6 scale Dragon Girl, 32,000 yen, May 2026 release. So this figure is like completely Hadaka. I have to cover up the whole thing. Yeah. And for those of you who love Monster Musume, you might like this one. Yeah, it is quite a detailed looking figure. Moving up next, we have Binding Creators 1x4 Pai Yue. It is like a nicer way of saying Opai. Pai Yue. 44,000 yen, February release. Yep, customable, as most binding figures are. Not most, all. This one, the design, you know what? I've seen quite a few Chinese dress figures that go with the color combination of blue and white. And no matter how many times I see this color combination, I never like it. Yeah. So this figure, combined with the gray hair over there, this one is not very attractive to me. Moving up next, this is from H Anime, and I have already watched it. Yeah, not a fan of the big melons, but if it is a H Anime, I want to watch it at least once, right? And it is probably originally a novel, a VN, or a game, and then they adapt it into a short anime series, 2 or 3 episodes. So this is from Seika, Joga Queen, Konen, Sao Oji-san, Luisa Richter, 1x6 scale by Pure, just under 25,000 yen after discount. So it is interesting that AmiAmi always put a discount on these figures by Pure for some reason. Like, each time there is an edgy figure by this brand, you get a discount, which is great, because not every Pure figure are available on HLJ and many other websites. And Ninin Game, if you get it over there, you know, they charge a premium for it. So this is a great figure to have if you liked the character or the series she came from. For me, those big melons are a no for me. But for Pure, I have received this question a couple of times, including on social media. What is this brand like? My answer, 2 words. Very good. Yeah, go for it. Okay, moving up next. Okay, this is the same figure, 2 versions over here, deluxe and standard. Deluxe version, you get a wall scroll. So Asana Ken, original character, Lute Girl, eye-shaped balanced wall scroll set. 32,000 yen by Hot Venus, which is a branch of Native, one of the top tier edgy figure brands. And July 2026 release. Why are most of these edgy figures, right? Why are most of them big melons? I have no idea. Maybe that is what people like, but not a fan of it, man. Like these characters, right? They often have a pretty face that I like so much, but then the rest of it, the body, is where I don't like. They are really good purchases though, as long you manage to import it without any issues, obviously. And the standard version for this figure is going for 28,600 yen, not that much cheaper, so you are paying for just one wall scroll. The amount of stuff, the accessories in the box, they are exactly the same. And yeah, there is a green tea maker part. I'm not sure how someone can stretch her legs like that, 180 degrees wide open, and still spit out green tea. I have no idea, but I'm not a woman, so I don't really understand 100% how women anatomy works. Okay, so that is all for AmiAmi, and the last section for genuine figures, Ninin Game for Beeful Insight Forged Japan figures. There are only 2 of them this week, and this is a boy, this is a male, but I still decided to censor it because gender equality. If I'm not allowed to let people see the tits of a female character, then I shall stop people from seeing it on men as well. Gender equality. Just like Kazuma does. Yeah, Kazuma from Konosuba. Anyways, this is Bishonen Otokonoko Kanato-kun. And yes, there is a big ding dong cannon down there if you buy this figure, and soon available. No price yet. Maybe you can pre-order it starting next Monday, maybe. Yeah, you can't click pre-order yet on this one. And the second one over here is a girlfriend's mother, Suzune Hanagi. Yeah. So any one of you like Oyakodon? Mother and daughter. Right. So this one, there is only one version available, 1x6, 22,000 yen. I couldn't find a 1x4. So that is all for genuine licensed figures on pre-order this week. Now we move on to third parties on OSGK, which is our affiliate partner for the third party section, just like HLJ is this channel's partner for genuine figures. So if you are an existing customer on HLJ or OSGK and you wish to purchase or pre-order literally anything, not just anime figures, please to make use of my links down in the description below to enter these websites as a way of supporting this channel. Or sometimes you may see a box, right? A link appearing on the top right corner of this video, and then you click and go in. You can also do that. It does the same thing. That is how I support this channel, where every purchase you make, I will take a small cut of 3 to 4%, and that funding really goes into running this channel, like getting new figures for reviewing, where I don't necessarily keep every figure that I buy. Sometimes I buy solely to review it and then I sell it. That's the thing. And then one more thing is that every genuine figure that I've covered so far, you can also get them on OSGK if that is where you prefer to get your figures. Alright, so without further ado, we move on to Anyas, as usual. Chibi figures in general. So the first Chibi figure section over here, we only have 2 Anyas this week. The first one is by ZH Studio, which I personally regard as the best Anya figure maker among the third parties. This is Splash Girl Anya Forger. Okay, Pokemon crossover from the looks of it. Green eyes or blue eyes. There are no pictures yet. That is why nothing is changing when I click on the buttons over here. Yeah, usually 2 hair colors and 2 different eye colors over here. This has to be a Pokemon. I'm not very familiar with Pokemon. So this is a very adorable figure, and the water effect is nice. Oh, that is very... Oh, lovely effect base over there. $113 is fair enough. This is roughly 1/6 scale. December release, this December. The second Anya figure this week is from Ruin Studio, cosplaying Sakura Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura. $113 as well, no release date yet. Does not look as nice, isn't it, compared to the one earlier by ZH Studio. It is still a nice crossover, but there are also other Cardcaptor Sakura crossovers of Anya, I think. But even if you skip this one in future, another brand will do the same thing, the same idea at least. So it is really up to you. Moving up next, we have Far Studio Detective Conan Summer Festival I Haibara, $99, December 2025. So yep, this is like under my chibi figure section in a way. But Detective Conan characters are designed this way, coming out in December. Then, well, No comment from me. Alright, moving up next. Another chibi figure by Mimo Studio, Inuyasha. $85 December release. No skill mentioned, but the height is around 16 centimeters, which is still way taller than an android. This is like a child version of Inuyasha. Looks quite nice, but I would go for the proper scale figures, right? The third parties are doing amazing job with Inuyasha, seriously. Alright, moving up next, we have the Evangelion section. So I think 2 figures this week from Evangelion. The first one is a 1x4 scale. I am not Asuka. Okay, you're obviously Asuka. This is available in regular version, going for $309. Deluxe version, $382. Okay, more accessories, more face parts, I suppose. How many face parts are we getting? 6 of them? Are we really getting 6 of them? That is excessive. But, okay. A bit plain and simple, but not a bad looking figure. Like, if you like it, go for it. There are very few bad Asuka figures out there coming from third parties. And the face is fine, right? It is quite anime accurate, so no complaints from me. The next one here is both Asuka and Rei in this mecha thing. It is like the cockpit of their mecha, right? The one they sit in. Pink Lady Studio. So this is really cheap because at 1x6 scale, which is already massive, you can get this Asuka for $274 or Rei as well at $274. But if you get it as a set, $491, making them less than $250 each. The whole thing, massive, at $250 each. So this is worth looking into because their face look great, right? Both Asuka and Rei, the faces look great. So you should check this one out. This is not a bad purchase at all. Moving up next, we have PA Create Studio Elden Ring Revenant, $399, March 2026. You know, was it last week or the week before? I wasn't aware that Elden Ring is actually a Japanese game. And then, was it Leon? Magnus Leon, I think you corrected me on that. And I actually appreciate it because I'm not always correct, right? I did not know that Elden Ring is a Japanese game. Because the character designs look pretty westernized to me. That's the thing. Yeah, just like Metal Gear Solid, right? It is a Japanese game. It is a Kojima game, but the character designs are more westernized. So sometimes I judge book by their covers. Can't be helped. Man, this character... Why are the photographs so dark, man? They are following the vibe of the game or this character, but the photographs are so dark. I'm starting to stutter after talking for more than an hour and my mouth is kind of dry. Yep, there we go. Resin figure levels of detail. Even freeing 1x4 or many other 1x4 scale PVC figures regardless of brand, including the Nikkei that I like so much from Hobby Sakura, not yet out though. They don't really give you this kind of textural detail. So this is like exclusive to resin for some reason. I don't think it is impossible to recreate this level of detail on a PVC 1x4. Just that maybe it is too expensive and the Japanese brands, they want to keep their big fat profit margins. So they're not giving us that. Okay, moving up next. Now we move on to 1x4 scale territory for some characters over here. Lightyear Studio Ghost Blade First Light licensed resin figure. This is an early bird pre-order and a preview. No price yet, but you can put a deposit of $99 if you like it. What is up with so many Ghost Blade figures nowadays, man? A lot of high quality pictures here for a preview, I have to say. Orange Cat. Well, great looking figure, but I'm not collecting realistic looking stuff. So my guess, right, is $400. Yeah, my guess, $399. Let's see if I'm correct next week when the price is finally confirmed. Okay, moving up next, from PPDF Studio, we have Honging from Slayer of Gods, Realm of Mortal Divinity. 1x7 scale. This is a PVC. And going for $79 only. I think AmiAmi has this on pre-order already. Yeah, AmiAmi has it. So you can get this over here or on AmiAmi, releasing in January 2026. Yeah, this went on pre-order on AmiAmi last Saturday. How did I miss it just now during the AmiAmi section? Well, for a low-cost PVC figure, plenty detailed, but Chinese brands are good at doing that, right? Alright, moving up next, we have, what is this? Chiyu Studio Sleep Paralysis must be some original character, so it is licensed, $75, and this is probably PVC, I think. Let me have a look. Yep, PVC figure. Man, I would just get a Sadako figure at this point. The one by Kotobukiya is quite nice. I mean, yeah, it is artistic for sure, and I can see myself coming up with a unique idea for photography, but I'm not sure about buying a figure with no face to look at, you know? Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next one here. This is from Bisho Gumi, which is a brand I've never heard of. Could be a new brand. And going by the character design over here, this is most likely a licensed PVC figure from a new brand, and next week or the week after, you can see the Japanese website starting to offer her, right? I'm just covering it a bit early because she's now available on OSGK this week. $88, December 2025 release. So this is more like a 12,000 yen figure, I think. Yeah. And character design and everything looks great, right? I love the sofa. The paintwork on the sofa, the gradients is quite nice. I always love big red sofas. I know those of you will prefer a big black one, like what you see in some Japanese movies, the black one, but red color is nicer over here. Well, not much else to say other than Chinese brands. They tend to be okay, like there are not many bad ones out there. So moving up next, we have JT Studio 1/6 scale twin sisters Yumi and Yuki. So with this pair of figures, initially, when I saw their faces, I was cringing really hard. Like, they are not attractive at all. Who would buy these? And then I went on and checked out the pictures. Oh, that is a very creative figure. So this one is available. Regular version, either one, if you buy either one, $397, deluxe edition, with more accessories, up to $600 for a set, right? So I think if I get this figure, for example, I would put the mask on. So this looks more like an original concept art character. And this feels so science fiction-ish, right? It feels like something I would see in cyberpunk, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. Just that the body shape is not very nice, but other than that, this one with the helmets as well looks amazing. When you take it off, that is when they start looking ugly. Yeah. Yeah, they look amazing actually when displayed this way, right? Okay, moving up next, we have Chun-Li 1x4 scale by Ani Studio and Rose Studio. $419, September release. Yep, this September, 2 months away. And this is a very pretty Chun-Li. I like this Chun-Li a lot. Like, this is a very feminine version of her. And they are not making her thighs way too thick, like some third parties do. Yeah, Chun-Li has always had big legs, right? That is her signature because of her kicks, right? She needs those muscles. But this, they tones down the body proportions. It is not too extreme. The chest is not too big. The legs are not too big. And then the face is very feminine. I like it a lot, actually. And this is close to my Chun-Li figure, if I were to get one. Just that I have never been good at using this character in the game. Like, her moves require charging, and I don't really know how to execute it, which is why I prefer to play Juri or Cammy. This is a great looking Chun-Li figure, but whether you like it or not, it is up to personal taste. Okay, moving up next, we have this Yams Collector Studio with A2 from Nier Automata. So this is available in a variety of different colors and combinations. Starting from around $250, can go up to $511 for the deluxe version, which is fully customable. More like you're getting 2 entire figures, and on top of that, you're getting both the black and the white one. I don't see a point. Choose a color that you prefer, black or white, and then go for the deluxe one, which includes a Hadaka body. This one is customable. their other figure, what was the name again? Their other Nier Automata figure went on pre-order like a month ago, and this one is like meant to complement that one. So looking great so far. The face sculpt and everything quite pretty. Not much to complain on this one. I think she looks great, even though it is just a bunny figure in the end. Moving up next, oh, I love this so much. Stellar Blade Eve from Timo Studio. This is available in both 1x4 and 1x6. No price yet, but you can place down a deposit if you want. No price, no release date. And putting aside the pose, which is dependent on whether you are okay with it or not, the face on this Eve figure is among the best I've seen across all third parties, right? I'm kind of tempted. I kind of want one, right? Buying third party is not exactly supporting the studio behind the game, but I kind of want one. I'm supporting them via Nikkei stuff at least. Okay, so this one is really something you should check out this week. Moving up next, another 1x4 scale that is really cheap, $249. You get this realistic face, not Anya, this Your Forger by Pink Butterfly Studio. October, release this October, and you know what, the face, and it looks like real fabric. Yep, she is wearing real fabric. If it is, that means the figure is actually castable. That explains why she is so affordable at 1x4 scale. It is just a Hadaka resin figure and then they put on the fabric clothes. Okay, can't recommend this one though. Unless you really like it and you want a Hadaka Your Forger figure, I wouldn't bother with this one. However, the next 1x4 scale over here is something you should look into. Coming from Quiet Art Studio and Hera Studio. Oh, you see the name Hera Studio, you know that it is going to be a good purchase. And why is that? There will be a video coming up early next week in just a couple of days. We shall go through third-party figures, right? And there are a lot of Hera Studio figures that I will be covering, actual product pictures, not just official pics like this. So please do subscribe to this channel if you want to keep yourself up to date to some third-party figures as well, not just the genuine figures. Now back to this one over here, we have Freewen with her cloth dissolving potion at 1x4 at just under $300. December release this December. Why is everything in December? But guess what? I like this a lot. I feel like I want it even though I'm not exactly a big fan of the anime. And I need your opinions on her face because I have received mixed opinions based on what I have read in my Facebook page. Some people liked the face, some not so much. They said that it is a bit off, but to be honest, I think it is kind of accurate though, based on what I remember seeing in the anime. I think they got her face done right. So I'm not sure what is wrong. Like those that pointed out her face is a bit off, I'm not sure what it is. I think it could be the viewing angle, right? Because in anime, we saw her making this face expression from the front, and then this one we are looking at her from the side, like from an angle, so it could look a bit different. So when you convert 2D artwork into 3D object, then sometimes things could look a little bit different. But in my opinion, this is good enough. This is looking really good, right? So in my opinion, this is one of the main highlights this week among 1x4 skills. Yep. Moving up next, we have two Chainsaw Man Makima figures. The first one here is by TY Studio or Tian Yuan Studio. This is a 1x4, $426 December release as well. The picture is so small, I can't even zoom in. What the heck? Okay, realistic face. Very pretty face, but you know what? Makima looks a lot more ruthless and evil than this. This is too angelic, too pretty to be Makima. No, I mean, Makima is still a pretty woman, but she doesn't look this innocent, you know. She is a lot more ruthless and evil, so it feels a bit off character to me. And okay, are these two the same face or different? I think it is the same face, just different lighting, and then suddenly she looks a bit more evil than usual. Yeah, the same face. It is the same one. But just that the eyes are so shiny. Probably they're using slightly translucent material. It looks very realistic, which is a good thing. But she doesn't really give off the same vibe as the real Makima in a way. So I'm not sure if I like this one. Moving up next, we have a second Makima figure over here, which is way cheaper, $186 at 1/6 scale by BB Girl Studio. No release date yet. Now, this is a good Makima face, just that, yeah, not as detailed as the 1/4 earlier. But you know what? With Makima, there are so many genuine PVC figures out there already, so you're spoiled for choice anyway. You don't necessarily have to get this one. Moving up next, we have Zenkai Studio Dandadan Momo Ayase 1/6 scale. $400, but 1/6 scale. That is expensive, man. That is really expensive. Otherwise, it is a great looking Momo Ayase figure. And I think finally we are getting a proper scale PVC figure of her. It is coming soon. I've seen the pictures. Can't remember which brand. So high quality scales of her are coming from genuine figure brands. Just that this one, 1/6, even with this base, no, I'm not sure if $400 is justified. Yeah, kind of expensive. Moving up next, we have Big Opai Miku from Tistel Senton's studio. So there are two versions over here, swimsuit version and spade version. Spade version is basically a black color heart on the Opai and nothing else, nearly Hadaka. $188 each at 1/6 scale, June 2026 release. The face is pretty, but you know what? The Miku I know does not have melons on the chest. No balloons. So this is really for those of you who dream or wished that your favorite Vocaloid character has a body like this. Yeah. And this is not the first time a studio has made a Miku figure with balloons on her chest, because there are people out there who want Mikus like this, which is why they keep making them. Yeah. And for this studio, I do know quite a bit about them. Their figures are something I can actually recommend. So, hey, Miku with micro bikini for $188. Moving up next, this is from last Saturday, but I missed out. Ane Studio VTuber Nanashi Mume at $188. 1/6 scale, no release date yet. Why does this look like a certain Uma Musume figure? Of course, I don't remember the name of that Uma Musume character, but there is some similarity to it, man. All the details on this must be decal. No, this is not painted, this is decal, but still very nice. And we need some shading, right? This is like plain brown. Yeah, no shading. We need some shading over here to make the figure look even better. Even the hair is lacking in shading, just a flat shade of brown color. But the sculpting is pretty good at least. Okay, moving up next, we have a saber from Faith Studio. Dimensional version is $230, double head version $266. Okay, two different heads, I see. So let's have a look. Is this like, oh my god, that is ugly. Why are her eyes so big? Or is it a viewing angle issue? Because from this angle, like bottom up angle, her eyes look oversized, right? And it looks weird, the face. But from this higher angle, it looks a bit better, but it is definitely the same face. I'm not confident about this one. We have some nice texture on the outfit over here, and the armor looks great. The paintwork is amazing, but I think they need to fix her eyes at least. I think her eyes are way too big. Oh! Okay. If you insist on getting this one, go for the anime version only. $230. Don't get the double head. What the heck is this, man? Okay. And once again, we need some shading on her hair. Oh god. It is such a shame because the rest of the figure looks incredible. And you get two swords as well. Yeah, I'm not confident about this saber, right? Moving up next, we have two figures of Neoma from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The first one is the better looking one by BJA Studio, $188 at 1/6 scale. Releasing in September 2026. Yeah. Is she wearing something on her arm? I think there's a layer of like a really long, I don't know. Yeah, because it is a bit shiny over there. I think she's wearing something. But it looks good for sure. It looks really good. And well, the second one over here is what I can't really recommend. Like, this is a cheap way to sell fan service. Just a pair of green color hearts on an exposed opie, and then $150 by Niji Studio, releasing this December. I would say, you know, pay a bit more, the $188, and get the one earlier. This one is like low effort figure, right? Barney girl, low detail, yeah. Even at a low price of $150, which is considered low for resin figures, I can't justify this one. Okay, moving up next, we have Moko Studio. Again, they are dressing up every Genshin character in this school uniform, and then you get to choose between bare leg and stocking leg, right? And they are quite cheap, as you can see, $113 US, releasing this December. Though they always get the face of the figures right, this is a very nice face of Furina. It is a shame that we don't get proper PVC figures of Furina for sure. Yeah. So this one comes as recommended if you want the entire set of the Genshin cast in school uniform. I think Ganyu is already out, and Shenhe is work in progress, and now we have Furina. Yeah. Moving on to the next one. Now we go into Honkai style territory. 2 figures of Castoris, many figures of her recently. The first one is by Rumeng Studio, $230. March 2026 release. Not bad. Not a bad price considering the complexity of the figure over here. And the face looks great as well. Rumeng Studio, I think I will be covering her figure in my next episode of which third party is good. I think there is a figure of this brand, from this brand I mean. If I remember correctly, I've already filmed it, but I've not yet done editing it yet. So we shall see. But this figure looks pretty convincing in a way. The second one here is just as good. Like, you ask me to choose between the two, I'm not sure which one to choose. But I think I'm leaning towards this one a bit more just because, hey, they have a nicer picture over here. Between 2 pictures, this is the more vibrant one, right? The more shiny looking one. So it instantly captures your attention. It makes you want the figure even more. But quality-wise, who knows which is better? That's the thing. That is why product pictures are so important. So this Castoris is by Xiao Huan Xiong Studio. Version A, the one you're seeing on screen, the 3 branch, is $248, which is fair enough, I suppose. Version B is swimsuit version for $184, and you can get both for $365, which is quite cheap for 2 figures. But if I were to get this figure, I would stick with the 3 branch version only. Like, swimsuit version is nice, but yeah, not a priority for me. And the face on this figure is nice. It is great, right? It looks fantastic, man. Man, I'm being baited by a prettier picture. I don't find this one prettier, but it could be the picture being the reason. Okay, moving on to the next one here, we have Sparkle from Honkai Star Rail by Rosa Studio. Regular version, standard version, deluxe version. I believe this is customable. Standard is $184 only. And let me check. Oh, yeah, this figure actually glows in the dark, as you can see. Okay, regular version, the figure does not glow in the dark. Maybe they need a separate material or a different paint that is more expensive. So the standard is $184. No, the regular version is $184. Standard with glowing parts is $230. And the deluxe version, oh no, you can't cast off. I was assuming that you can cast off. No, deluxe version, $274. You get a cage. Okay. Actually, this is very difficult to decide, you know, because a figure in a cage is not common. I will want a figure like this in a cage if I can, but this is difficult. Even the standard version is already really good looking. Yeah, and if you don't care for glow in the dark parts, then save some money and get the regular one for $184, which is honestly a good price for a figure where the face is looking fantastic over here. Yeah, not much to complain about this one. Moving on to the next one. Oh boy, you guys, Blue Archive lovers just couldn't get a break, right? So I'm attaching a link on the top left corner over here, top right corner for you guys. Go and check out the Blue Archive figures on pre-order this week. There are 3 of them, and they are all amazing. They are all very tempting. The first one here is by Lolicool Studio. Takanashi Hoshino, $132 only at 1/6 scale. This is all you get. No cast off, but hey, it is seductive enough. It is suggestive enough, attractive enough. I think that is all that matters. So you should check this one out. I like this a lot. The only unfortunate thing is that I wish that all of these figures were PVC, like high quality PVC figures. Yeah. Okay, moving up next, the second one this week is also excellent from BGA Studio again. We have Blue Archive Sukatsuki Rio Battle Suit. And this one is looking fabulous as well. So version A is going for $194, under $200. Version B, I couldn't click on the screen because she is wearing nothing, Hadaka. So you do get a Hadaka version, just that there are black color objects on her chest. Or you can get both for $344. This is, oh, I love this, man. My only concern is how this figure will stand up in the long term, because is the figure connected to the base with only one arm? Because my concern over here is that, yeah, the arm will start bending over time because of the weight, right? Which means the entire figure will start leaning towards one side over time. I'm a bit concerned over here, but I can't really tell if there are additional supports. If there are no additional supports, I would recommend you guys to add additional supports to the figure, even if it ruins the look a bit. It makes the figure look uglier. I mean, this is a very ambitious pose. Very ambitious from the company, but I'm concerned for sure. I still like it a lot though, I won't lie. Yeah, great Blue Archive figures this week. And the third one, this one went on pre-order late last Saturday. Kakudate Karin by FWS Studio. This one is castable. You can have the figure entirely Hadaka. But if you don't want that, the regular version is $231. But for just an additional $35, you can get the Hadaka one for $266, which is really worth it. And the face on this Karin is actually really nice. So normally I will tell you to get the one by Max Factory or the one by Good Smile if you want a Karin scale figure. But there is extra justification for getting this one because you can display her without any clothes on. Yeah. That used to be the main reason why people buy third parties, you know. Moving up next, we have a Toho figure here by Athena X, which is a licensed figure. Toho Mystia's Izakaya Mystia Lorelei Song of the Night Feast, 1/6 scale, $144 only. December release, yeah, cheap for a reason because detail level on this figure is kind of average. I'm glad to see shading over here, you know. You see the dark brown and bright brown in the center over here. Shading work is very nice on the paint, but detail level is more in line with what you would expect in a PVC figure rather than resin. And if you were asking, is this PVC or resin? This is resin, right? It is mentioned in the product description. I don't recognize this character. Even though she is from Toho, I don't recognize it. And the last figure for today is from Zenless Zone Zero by Miyin Studio, another brand that I can vouch for. Their figures are great, and you will see why again in my next episode of which third-party figure brands are any good. Most likely, I will put Hera Studio in the title of that video. It is coming soon. So this is Yishen from Zenless Zone Zero at 1/6 scale, $184, March 2026 release. Alright, and face is looking good, right? But this is Miyin Studio. I do expect them to deliver. So, Apex Toys, when? When are we getting a figure of her? Given what you're getting over here, the entire set with the chair, the props and so on, this is a good price. But Miyin Studio has always given us very good value. They have a long track history of doing so. And that is all for figures on pre-order this week, together with the announcement from Good Smile. That is why this video is pretty long, because the Good Smile section at the beginning of this video took up over 10 minutes. Yeah. So which figure will you pre-order this week? Let me know down in the comments below. Not many attractive figures this week, but a select few are quite nice. And until then, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'll see you soon. Please do subscribe, please do like, and goodbye.